Hey guys, it's the Chinist. So today is January 20th, Saturday, 3 days after New Comic Book Day. I have my haul here of 15 with 17 different titles. So yeah, man, sorry about that, but due to the weather, we had a lot of freezing rain, which delayed things this week, so the LCS did not get their stuff in until Friday afternoon. So I picked up my stuff earlier today and read through everything, loved it, a lot of good reads in here. So first up we have Damage. I actually picked up one extra copy of Damage. Man, great issue, man. This is like a different... not realistic, but just a different take on the Incredible Hulk, in my opinion. Good stuff, man. They really kicked it off really well here in this very first issue. You just get glimpses of who this guy was, prior to getting into this program. He's, clearly part of the military. For 1 hour per day, he becomes Damage, this beast known as Damage. It seems like he has just a little bit of awareness, just a tad. It seems like he can kind of hold back on killing, certain people. So, not too much depth into detail, so far into what he can do or cannot do. But man, they really did a good job on this first issue. If you enjoy the Hulk, check this one out, Damage. Okay, next up from DC, we have Trinity. This one was a pretty good, decent read here. So you have the Holy Trinity. They're part of this little, some sort of magical vortex was going on. They realize this magic kind of going into it. They get sucked in and they come out on this. It seems like kind of like the Savage Land from the Marvel side of things. There's a term for this land. I'm not familiar with it. They do mention it here. But something happens to where Superman, when they get into this land, Superman does not have his powers. Batman is just Batman. He's pretty cool. And Wonder Woman goes blind. So she still has her powers, but she's blind. So, kind of everyone is handicapped except for Batman. He still has his utility belt. But pretty good fight scene, pretty good storyline. They're kind of kicking off here. They introduced someone by the name, I guess I won't give it away because it's kind of a last page reveal. But, this character who's in, oh, here you go, Skartaris is where they are. And apparently the character here, I've seen that title. It was, a title from like the 70s and early 80s. I did not know that it crossed over into the actual continuity here. So yeah, I won't give away who they run into, but yeah, I guess part of that land. Okay, next up, Super Sons. So this concludes the Super Sons of Tomorrow. So I've heard a couple people say they did not, I try not to listen to any spoilers because I picked up my comics late, obviously, but I heard mixed reviews. I think the majority of people did not like the storyline. I completely disagree with that. Man, I love this storyline. I'm not sure what people are complaining about. The crossovers were, no issue to me whatsoever. This was the exact amount of issues to kind of tell this story. No issues to me whatsoever, man. I thought it was pretty cool. So, something else, you got glimpses of various realities of everything that we've known, along the, various decades going back to the early 80s here. You have Crisis of Infinite Earths here. A lot of New 52 references. You have a current, the Batman Dark Legends, I'm sorry, the Dark Knights going on right here. So, yeah, so very, very cool episode here. Very cool issue. You still get a little bit of dialogue with the Teen Titans of Tomorrow. Great issue here. They really wrapped it up very well. Great dialogue here, as always, in Super Sons. So, yeah, love this title, and the storyline was phenomenal, in my opinion. Okay, next up from DC, we have Justice League. So, they've changed over to a new writer, which is Priest, not Joey Priest, I forgot what his name is, and new artist as well. Again, the artist is kind of hit or miss on this one, in my opinion. But you get to the bottom of who tried to frame Batman in a murder in a couple issues back. So you find out, like, this is like a fanatic of the Justice League. This guy loves them, but in order to get close to them, he kind of had to put certain plans into play. So pretty cool. They kind of wrap this one up pretty well. I think the new change, or the change away from Brian Hitch, was a great change in my opinion. I think they left them on just a little bit too long. But yeah, Justice League, it's pretty decent so far. Not something to really, tell you to go pick it up by any means right now, but a turn for the better in my opinion. All right, next up from DC, we have Future Quest. So Future Quest Presents is kind of like a little bit of an anthology, kind of going over the various characters. I think each character has like maybe 1 to 3 issues. Give a little bit more character development and just a little bit of a solo adventure here and there. So again, I love everything from the Hanna-Barbera, and I kind of grew up with all those cartoons and syndication by the time that I grew up and grew up with them. But man, really good stuff. Again, I loved all those the previous Birdman, Hercules. What else was out there? Space Ghost was one of the main ones out there. But yeah, loved them all. This was a pretty cool issue here. If you like Birdman, pick this one up. I think I may go over to the trades for Future Quest and kind of cherry pick the characters that I like going forward. But yeah, really do enjoy it, Future Quest. Okay, next up from DC, we have Batman and TMNT 2. So if you like that first storyline that came out, man, pick this one up. This is just a continuation. You have the exact same artwork, the same flavor, same type of dialogue, same feel to it. Great stuff. I really enjoy the first one. The second one is, still, hits that bar for me, in my opinion. So here in this issue, you kind of have Venom teaming up with Baxter. I forgot his first name. Jonathan Baxter? Not Jonathan Baxter. Whatever his name was. And they're trying to come up with a synthetic venom serum. Pretty cool stuff. They're successful. And they infuse that venom into Rocksteady and Bebop. So pretty cool stuff. I won't give away what they look like once they kind of get the venom serum in them. And the highlight, though, is the fight here that you see between Raphael and Damian. Man, good stuff, man. The dialogue that kind of goes back and forth. It covers a couple pages. Won't give it all away, but oh man, good stuff. If you enjoy either of these two, pick this title up, guys. Okay, next up, Marvel, we have Champions. So pretty good stuff. So past couple, past couple storylines specific to Champions, not outside that the Worlds Collide a crossover they had. It started really getting into more of the social issues, and I was not really too much of a fan. This is really getting more into the teammates and character development within the team. So this is getting back to what I first enjoyed when I first picked up Champions. So this is really all about Vivian, who has the high evolutionary turned her into a human. Well, Vision, his solution to that, he creates another Vivian. He had kind of like a backup of her, use that to create another Vivian. So we have like a Vivian synthetic droid, and we have Vivian human. So this is like a huge dilemma here. This entire issue kind of covers that. The team is, what do we do with this new, copy, so to speak, or Vivian 2.0? Good stuff, man. If you enjoyed Champions when it first came out and you kind of got away from it, they're bringing back what it kind of started out with, which is, again, a turn for the better, in my opinion. So yeah, good read this week, Champions. Okay, next up from Marvel again, we have Star Wars. Again, if you enjoy Star Wars, you really need to be picking up this storyline, in my opinion. Pick it up in trade. And so this one I think this one concludes the Ashes of Jeddah. Good stuff. They're kind of going after the Kyber crystals that were originally used for the first Death Star. This was kind of a race to try to get to the remaining caches that were left over, and good stuff here. Again, if you're a Star Wars fan, you should be picking this up. But good fight scenes, good battles. There's always like a urgency, race to the finish type of feel to this. So yeah, Star Wars. Okay, next up, XMen Gold. Love this read this week. So this does not conclude, but they're still in the negative zone. They kind of had their battle with that alien. Was it like Zarnak or something? Kogoloth. So you see that guy come and go, and they leave that planet. They fight that god, and due to them fighting the god, trying to trap him into that void, their spaceship crash landed onto another alien planet. So this planet seems to be just pure like desert. Storm's power apparently does not work too well in this weather environment here. They're kind of all scattered. You got this issue, they kind of bring them all back together, and you kind of see where they're going to go from here. But man, good issue here. If you enjoy X-Men, this is more like a more of like a 90s feel almost, X-Men, but really love all the X titles out there. This XMen Gold, I thought, really, came out for me, in my opinion. So yeah, enjoy this negative zone that's going on right now. So yeah, XMen Gold. Okay, next up from Marvel, this is the last one from Marvel, Weapon X. Man, this was a great, again, I've said this Weapon X title is more like a slash 'em, shoot 'em up type of, pure action type of title. This one was, again, it, held true to my previous descriptions. Great stuff, and along here you also get the original, this guy with the American flag painted on his face. So this guy was his name, Nuke. So apparently this guy comes back. He was a previous character who, I recall he was in, I think, the Wolverine title. But yeah, pretty cool guy. I guess that guy's just like completely crazy, and yeah, so he has a whole following that kind of backs him up in this issue. So yeah, cool stuff, man. If you're looking for action, slice him up, Wolverine, if you like him, check this out, Weapon X. Okay, got one this week from Aftershock. We have Jimmy's Bastards. So in issue number 5, man, you kind of came to realization of who all these people were that he was fighting, and the best part of this, so you kind of find out along these decades of him being like a super spy and him kind of sleeping around, he had all these children. So all of these girls that he's been kind of sleeping around with for the past couple years, you find out, are actually his daughters. So this guy has been screwing his daughters, man, along the years, and has been killing his sons in all these missions that he's been going on. So totally went crazy, put him in the rehab, once he went through the realization of what the hell is going on. But man, good stuff, really twisted. I really like Garth Ennis's, storytelling. It's always like dark and twisted. Really like that stuff. Jimmy's Bastards. Okay, next up from, what is this, Devil's Due, is going to be Malefic. I'm sorry, Malefic. Alright, next up from Devil's Due is Malefic. Great title here, good horror type of storyline that we have here. I love horror, it's hard to find good horror. This one hits it for me. So this is black and white. I know black and white artwork, kind of turns off a lot of readers out there. But man, the black and white artwork here, I think it's very detailed artwork, and the black and white just kind of goes along with the storyline, in my opinion. Great title, man. If you're looking for good horror and you haven't found anything good lately, check this one out for sure. Mental asylum, each patient has its own like weird, they're just either demented, sometimes there's a little bit of supernatural that goes along with the patients. At the very end, you have patient number 11, she's like straight up like witch supernatural, kind of driving everything. She kind of comes into play at the very end here, really dark and twisted. Again, great stuff. If you're looking for good horror, check this out, Malefic. Okay, next up we have from Image, Icream Man. So I heard a lot about this one. This one actually sold out online pretty quick. I was able to get one of the owners at LCS held one back. I did not even ask him to do so, but man, great guy. He held one back because he knows I'm always after the hot stuff, week to week. And the other LCS I went to had like 4 copies, so I picked up just one more. So, I think this one got mixed reviews. Man, I loved this title. So this one apparently is going to be like, each issue is going to be a little bit different. And the storyline, it has like a separate storyline about this little kid and his parents. There's a spider involved. Won't go too much into that, but it's really kind of centered around the Icream Man. So the Icream Man, you don't go too much into it. He is definitely weird. You see at the very end, he's kind of coming out of the forest, with his clothes tattered, no explanation, but he kind of has like magical powers at the same time. They don't really go into it too much here. This has really intrigued me to get number 2. I'm definitely going to subscribe to this one. But man, again, I thought this was a really cool issue. I think this is going to be a really good title going forward. You know, it's going to be really weird, really dark. Again, you know, I do enjoy those type of titles. So yeah, this is for me, Icream Man. Okay, last up, Killer Be Killed. So I think this may be my most favorite read of the week. So you have this guy, he's conflicted, he has this demon who tells him that he must kill periodically or else the demon is going to kill him. Got to a point to where, you know, the demon manipulated him into threatening his roommate, which kind of got him thrown into a mental asylum. But in this one issue, you see the demon more than any other issue so far in this title. A lot more deeper into it now, you also find out that it's more of a family demon. It afflicted his brother right before he committed suicide. His father clearly saw him to include him into all his artwork that he did before he committed suicide as well, I believe. So yeah, great issue. Again, I think this is my most favorite read of the week, Killer Be Killed. If you haven't checked this one out yet, check out the Volume 1 trade. If that hooks you, check out the rest of the series. So guys, that's going to be it for this week's brand new haul. Should you enjoy what you see here, please like and subscribe. Talk to you later.